in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates.
Hello viewers and welcome to this episode of Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This program highlights issues about wedding, its preparation, post-wedding and marital issues. Couples as stakeholders relive their most special moments and the rigors of wedding preparation and the joy therein. Today, we will be looking at, first of all, forced marriage and then subsequently arranged marriage. But before we go further to introduce our guests, we'll go for a very short break, and when we return, we head on straight to business as usual. Stay tuned.
The happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN. From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries.
Welcome back to Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. I am your host, Raymond Ken-Mbata, standing in for Immaculata Irikana, who is indisposed at this moment. And our guest today is a psychologist. I'm talking of no other than Ayobami Ajakaye Oduyemi. It's a pleasure having you on Wedding Banter.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What is forced marriage? In a forced marriage, one or both parties do not have full or free consent. They might be pressured or coerced to marry or to stay in a marriage through violence, threats, grooming, fraud, or other methods. We have found out that parents typically play an important role in facilitating a forced marriage, which makes escape ever more difficult and adds a deep sense of betrayal to an already traumatic situation. A forced marriage is recognized globally as a form of modern slavery and as a harmful practice that disempowers women and girls in particular and hinders gender equality. It's recognized nationally as a human rights abuse. Forced marriage also happens to individuals of other genders, and we have found out and seen parents use forced marriage as a form of conversion therapy. Even if both parties enter a marriage with full, free consent, the union can later become a forced marriage if one or both parties are forced to stay in it. Within a forced marriage, individuals typically lose all sexual or reproductive rights, forced to have unprotected marital sex not only on their wedding night but again and again, a lifetime of rape. This inevitably leads to forced parenthood, with individuals repeatedly forced to endure pregnancy, childbirth, and child rearing without their consent. Very traumatic. We'll start with the first question. Can forced marriage be seen as a form of human trafficking?
Yes.
Okay, can you highlight?
Because human trafficking is taking or forcefully taking one against their consent from maybe a place or for doing something outside of your own comfort zone. So it is actually a form of human trafficking, and it's against the right of an individual, of a person, either a male or a female. Because why would you force someone to do something against their will, against their belief, against their person? Because you are doing it to the detriment of the person, but to the advantage of the person trafficking, the person forcing them to do these things. Just like the normal human trafficking that we are used to, taking a child to child labor, just so one, maybe for financial purpose, or to satisfy some certain emotion. Okay, so it's just the same thing with forced marriage. Because maybe one or both parents of one of the spouse now wants this woman to marry, wants their daughter to marry a family that this lady in question is not willing to, because maybe they had a covenant in the time past, like we watch in Nollywood movies, or because of financial gain. Some even use their children as contracts for business, and it is against the will of such child. And this child is being forced into this marriage by telling them, it's either you are here or you don't get any inheritance from me, because it comes with stress. So it is a form of human trafficking, and it is actually truly modern day slavery.
Okay, but there's this organization, NAPTIP.
Yes.
NAPTIP spearheads
human trafficking
cases.
Yes.
But why can't NAPTIP delve into forced marriages?
I think they do, but when it is for underage.
Okay.
Yes, I think NAPTIP do, though. I mean, it's part of their responsibility. They are saddled with that responsibility. If such child, such stuff gets to them, maybe through the child, but it must be through the child somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't think it's. I don't think it covers for an adult.
For an adult.
Meanwhile, they are adults that actually going through this traumatic situation right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's delve into the second question for today. We have this question here. What is the difference between an arranged marriage and a forced marriage?
An arranged marriage is not the same as forced marriage.
Okay.
An arranged marriage is usually consensual marriages. This is you saying, okay, maybe a lady sees, or a mother, we've seen that a lot in our Nollywood movies, maybe sees a child that he likes, and they're like, I have a son, no, I don't know whether you will like him. And he speaks to the son, there's this young lady around my office space, she's so nice, this one, that one, let me arrange your meeting so that you people can actually talk. That one, the two of them will see each other, like each other, because they have an intermediary, and they get married. Although most of the time, either of them might be getting into the marriage because of pity. It might be because of pity, or the love one of these couple have for the parents of the other party. Okay. Do you understand? Yes. So it might not be something that they really want to do, or they want to even use that marriage now to be like a payback for this nice mommy. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's different from forced marriage. In a forced marriage, one or both of them are actually forced to come together. Forced to come together against their own will. So that's actually, it is not far-fetched. Okay. Do you understand? So arranged marriage, many a times, is consensual.
Okay.
But forced marriage, it is, and never is, it is consensual. One is forced to be in that marriage, one of the spouses or the both, some of the time.
Which do you think is more prevalent in Nigeria as a case study? Which, between forced marriage and arranged marriage, which do you think is more prevalent in our society?
Nigeria have gone past this level of marriages, except for, because somehow we still have this, although it's not very pronounced, we still have this caste system. Is it caste system or capitalism in marriages for people of better financial pockets? Do you understand? People want their children, they want them to be in a sphere of society, the highbrow. Do you understand? Well, when you say generally, I think we still have more of arranged than forced. If we look at the statistics, arranged can be in forms of matchmaking, okay? disguising sometimes.
Yes.
You actually want this person to date this person, but you don't want it to be like I did it. So you just arrange their meeting and but forced marriage, maybe among the rich ones or somebody that is trying to pay back for someone. But when we talk about the prevalence, we have more of arranged marriage.
More of arranged
but
marriage.
Generally, Nigeria has gone past that level actually.
Okay.
But we are just talking about statistics now.
Yes.
Yes. So Nigeria has gone past that level. At least parents are allowing for their children to make their choices and face the consequences.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Why hasn't the issue of forced marriage hit the front burner as it is usually an undertoned topic? It's not much talked about. Is there a stigma? Is there a punishment? Is there repercussion? Are there repercussions for people that that bring it out for discussion? Like
it's because somehow it's a breach of human one's what do you call it, civic human rights. But the thing is, as we stand, as we speak, let me not say what I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think there is, except for the ones that are underage.
Okay.
I will keep saying that.
Yeah.
But in the north, it's not a sin.
Okay.
If you have been to the north, you will see how these things have been. Children have been on daily basis, be given out to adults for marriage.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they are being forced.
Okay.
When we go up north,
Yeah.
yes, it's very prevalent there. And oftentimes than not, when things now goes out of hand, we get to read about them, hear about the story, how these children most of the times kill their husbands and do a lot of stuff.
We do hear that.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And at this time, you will not be hearing FIBA will now say, let us go and support this child because he actually did it out of traumatic experiences and all that. But I think it should be nip in the bud. Okay? Because why should we just continue to see our underage girls being forced into marriage with all these old men? And no one is saying anything. It's only there will be uproar when something has happened and it comes out, but that they are tackling it from the root. Maybe you are hearing about a marriage between a child of 9 years and an adult of about 30 years. What stops the government from stopping such marriage? Go front. Okay, we heard about this thing. Stop that marriage from happening before we even talk about consummation. And that is why we have prevalence of VVF amongst children.
Yes.
Do you understand? So, but right now, I would say that the government is not working in that aspect.
Okay.
Even our Ministry of Women Affairs, I think they have a lot on their table, that they are chewing. But I think they should just go to the roots and let's tackle this from the roots, so that we can stop this thing, especially because of young children. But when it comes to adults, nobody is saying anything. And it's so pathetic.
But what roles, if there are, does culture and religion have to play in forced marriages? Do they play any role?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, can you expatiate a bit for us?
All right. In some culture, in Nigeria as of today, the moment you are betrothed to someone, to a family, there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
You just have to. And then in Christianity, they believe we are liberal.
Yes.
But in Islam, it's not like that. In Islam, I don't know whether they teach them, catch them young. I don't know. Okay, so tradition does a lot. If in an environment where I'm a Yoruba woman, there are some practices that were happening way back. At some point, there was an uproar, and our media in the West, they took it upon themselves to start talking against it. For instance, that female mutilation. they started saying it. Oh, it's okay, it's not good, it's causing this. They are stating it. They created a lot of awareness, and now it is all at the very, very minimal level, because what, it became a topic of discourse in meetings, women meetings, even in churches. They spoke about it. Stop circumcising girls. Stop cutting off their clitoris. It's part of their being. That is not why they are promiscuting. And it has gone down. So if our traditional rulers, if our community leaders can actually come up with sustainable way of talking to our people, passing information, letting them know the advantages and disadvantages of forcing children into marriages, because two families have covenanted that this child, the day they gave birth to this child, bam bam bam, they did one or two abracadabra and say this girl must be married to. No, now it should stop. Allow a child to be a child. When they grow up, let them make their choices and stick to the consequences of the choices they are making. And in the other religion, I don't know, I'm not a Muslim, but I feel they have people that have read wide.
Yes.
They have traveled, they have gone outside of the country, they've seen things happening in the better climate. Why not come back home and tell your people, stop this thing? It is not right. It's not the right thing to do. You are infringing on the right of the child.
Exactly.
You are telling your son, you see, you must marry this child. And that one is telling you, I don't like her. This child is not, I just see her as a friend. I said, no. Me and the father have made our plans out. That's how. No. It should be stopped. Okay. So these two, both religion and traditional or culture, so to speak, play a part in this.
Okay.
And they can also play a part in the eradication of forced marriages.
Should I add? I want to add.
Okay.
If you support or you dispute the role that poverty and lack have to play, does it play any role at all?
It does.
In
you see that
marriages,
I feel really, really bad. Yes, it does. You see, poverty, God forbid, it is one thing that has pushed a lot of people into forced marriages, especially among adults. I'm not talking of children, not underage this time around. A child is being told, if you marry this man, you will not experience poverty again in our lineage. Why not help us to break the jinx? Am I a sacrificial lamb? And not allow that girl to make a choice. So it is another big problem, especially my gender. Female gender face that a lot of the time, where they tell a child to marry into a family because they know that family has they have the wherewithal, maybe the connection or the money, so that they too they will tell you they want to be associated with that family, even with so many issues. Some of them are living inside AC and sweating because they are going through a lot, but there's nothing they can do. They can't even leave because there is the mother or the father that will be reminding the child. You know, he's the one that sent Ebuka to school. He's the one that paid Chibuzo one boy. He's the one that, and you won't be able to leave. This get them stuck inside of it because they want to be the sacrificial lamb to break the jinx of poverty in their lineage. So it's another big problem.
Okay.
It is.
Let's look into the legal implications.
Okay.
Or what could be the legal implications of a forced marriage?
I don't really know much about the legal implication,
actually.
But I think when some of these things get to FIBA,
exactly,
there are consequences to forced marriages.
Okay.
But the question is this: how many people will come out? How many of these men or women are ready to come out, especially the male gender? Some are also forced to marry some women they can't live with, but they don't have a choice. And you know, men, they have this bro code or this attitude of not talking.
Yeah.
And they are just in that marriage, dying every day. and they are there. So, but what I know is that if it gets to the right authority with the relevant and the cogent evidences, there are implications to such. It's a crime against the human.
Yeah.
So there are implications. About that.
Okay. What could be the signs, if there are any? Looking at the next question, could you scroll to the next question, please? MCR. What could be the signs, just in case a passerby or an observer notices a forced marriage? What could be the giveaway signs of a forced marriage?
Actually, there are no physical signs.
Okay.
Because even someone that is in a consensual marriage can be going through violence or emotional trauma in a marriage. But the thing is, an unhappy marriage it creates an unhappy person. Okay, so when signs of unhappy marriage, a forced marriage, on the physical level you might not know until the person tells you. Okay. And another thing is their sexual life. Like you read earlier,
yeah,
every sex or intimacy they have is usually rape.
Oh.
It is, because
traumatic.
Yes, it's always very traumatic, and this person is in it. You just have to lay there, especially the women. You lay there, the man does his thing, and he gets off. And often times they're carrying about a lot of bruises down there, because there's no intimacy. It's just you doing your thing, just to fulfill your righteousness. So that's if a physical sign of forced marriage, no, except the person is talking. And when they are talking, how do you know that they are in a forced marriage? It is usually a loveless marriage.
Okay.
There's no love. Everybody's just doing their thing, living under the same roof, being married, but they are both living single, and either of them is performing his or her marital rights in the marriage, and the other one is just like aloof, does not even know what he or she is doing in that marriage, asking a lot of questions like, for how long will I continue to do this? Do you understand? Even when they have children, their children suffer a lot. Because when you see your child and you know that you gave birth to a child to someone you don't love, you might extend that hatred, although it's not all the time.
Yeah.
Some might use those children as a solace, like, this is the only thing that I'm getting out of this marriage. But some will hate those children because this is a marriage you don't want to be inside. So the signs are not physical.
Okay.
Yes, it's just a sign of unhappy marriage. But that's why we always say, talk, speak up, open up and talk to people that can help you. Anyone in a forced marriage should always talk, because there's always a way out. Divorce is there, separation is there. There are so many options. By the time they weigh the pros and the cons and realize that, okay, if care is not taken, this human can actually fall into depression, can even go into taking his or her life. And please stay alive for your children, or stay alive to make impact in your society. Some people have been into forced marriages and they are out and they are advocating against such marriages from coming up, so that will help the coming generation from falling victim like themselves. So I think sign of it physically, no.
Okay, then let's look at, since you're a renowned psychologist,
Okay.
can we look very briefly at the psychological signs of a forced marriage?
Of a forced marriage, okay. Number one is unhappiness. Loss of self-control, self-esteem. Let's start with the unhappiness, which is the first thing. When you don't find any sense of fulfillment in where you are in. Marriage is supposed to be something sweet, enjoyable. Then a person gets into a marriage with the wrong person, or with someone that he or she doesn't want in his or her space, and you are like, oh, I'm stuck with this person for the rest of my life. What happens is you become so unhappy. because those imaginations that you've already imagined ahead of time. Oh, I'm talking of a mature man. I'm not talking of underages now.
Yeah.
Like you start planning how to live your life, how you are going to share the same space with this person, the kind of dream you've had. It's being cut short, and you become so unhappy. Before you know it, you start having low self-esteem, which will start reflecting in your physical being. This is, low self-esteem is one, you don't want to go out. Because you see maybe you go to church, happy couple, they are just doing the mushy thing, and here you are looking at yourself like, what the hell am I doing here with this person? And you don't want to just go out. You don't want to share any moment with that person. Another thing is, from that low self-esteem, sometimes they get aggressive.
Okay.
Especially the one that is being forced into the marriage. Some go as far as killing their children. And they realize they are pregnant, there's nothing they can do. They will have the child. They somehow they poison the child. They can even kill the man. Depression comes in a lot because they are going through a traumatic experience, and they never bargain for such. So what do you want them to do? Especially when they don't have someone they can even talk to. They fall into depression, and depression, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Some end up killing themselves, like I said earlier. So oftentimes I know if it's not properly dealt with, the end is usually suicide. A lot of them commit suicide.
Okay.
A lot.
So people that find themselves in forced marriages,
Yes.
using this medium, can you?
If you are
give
in a
them
forced
guide?
marriage,
Yes.
like I said earlier, speak up. Seek for help. Because if you are there, your life is being cut short, like per second billing. When you are not happy, a lot of things happens when we are not happy. Why is the prevalence of cardiovascular diseases? It's because of so many of these people are not happy. When someone is having BP, you cannot even treat it, because even if you are treating it, you are taking pills, but the lifestyle you are living is not helping. Then it degenerates into having issues with the heart. Then you don't have a problem with depression. Some people become delusional, start hallucinating. A lot is attached to these things, and it affects even the physical health, the physical well-being of the person. And before you know it, one will just be living, only existing, but the person is not living, so to speak. And death is usually the end. The person will die in their prime. They say, he was just thinking, he's thinking. My people, there are many people that can help you. You can seek help from a friend who is learned, educated, who knows their coin. Because not everybody is there to help you. Some persons are just hearing your story to make mockery of it. Approach the right authority. You have therapists around you. If you have good religious leader that you can actually open up to, a lot of them knows organizations to take you to help you. So speak up. You can go to therapists, psychologists. We have a lot of psychologists lately. Thank God for our schools. We have some very good ones. Talk to them. They can help you. And if you have a good family member as well, you can listen to you. Because I know a lot are stuck in such marriages because their family are counting on them. They don't want them to leave. They just want them to be there. One, to save face. Two, because of financial gains and a lot of things. Please talk. Speak up. You can't die in such marriages. You are old enough to know that there are some things that are not good for you and your children. Children are watching, especially those ones that have children. Please, separation is not a sin. And in this situation, divorce is not even a sin. Help yourself, live, so that you can also live. God bless you all.
You've heard directly from a renowned psychologist, Ayobami Ajakaye Oduyemi. She has given a guide for all those who find themselves in such marriages that are forced. the way out is to first start speaking up about it. Do well to apply those suggestions that she has given here. She is a professional and she has very hands-on ways of addressing this issue, and she has given you exactly how it ought to be. If you find yourself in a forced marriage, listen up to what she has to say and apply as at when due. And with that, I want to first thank our guests for making it down here.
Thank you for having me.
And sharing with us.
Thank you for having me, sir.
And with that, from your host, Raymond Ken-Mbata, still standing in for Ericana Immaculata, I say this is where we call it wraps on this edition of Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. Until we come your way, same time next week, stay tuned to Atlantic Television Network. Thank you, and peace and unity are the pathways to progress. See you soon.
Catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.